Welcome to Engineering Your Classroom for the beginning of the school. This session will include a discussion on the structure of the classroom, boundaries, both stationary and movable, classroom layout, and equipment, what should be in the classroom, materials and supplies for an ESE classroom, organization of posting information, making a word wall, and centers. The physical structure of the classroom environment. When planning for the first day of school, it's important to plan for the structure of the classroom as well as lessons. As planning begins, one must think of the subject or subjects that will be taught, the grade level, what activities will occur. For example, younger children activities may include playing, eating, sensory activities like sand and water play, toileting, or for older students, vocational skills training, self-care skills. You've also got to think about what are the high traffic areas. This is the area where the students are moving to and from different activities, and you have to make sure that there's safety concerns and to address those concerns. The safety concerns are something such as, is there more than one door that leads to the outside? This may be a concern if you have students that are a runner. Or you have to take into consideration the areas that cause distraction. You do not want to have an area of a quiet activity, such as reading independently, and then have that close to a door, or maybe the computers where students are going to be having loud voices or a computer that's going to cause that distraction. Then you need to think about where is going to be the teacher's area. What's going to be the areas that are just the students. Boundaries. When we start looking at the layout of the classroom, we start thinking about the boundaries. And there's two boundaries that we need to be aware of. The first boundary is the stationary boundary, and the second is the movable boundary. Stationary boundaries are the things in the classroom that cannot be changed. Stationary boundaries include doors, bulletin boards, and whiteboards, sink and water fountains, cabinets and shelvings, windows, and cubbies that are built into the classroom. Movable boundaries are the things in the classroom that can be moved around within the classroom to make learning and storage areas. Movable boundaries include student desk, chairs, teacher's desk, storage containers, bookcase, kidney tables, carpet, play equipment such as the kitchen. Anything that you can use in your classroom can be a movable boundary. Classroom layout. The first step to engineering your classroom is decide on the classroom layout. This can be done several ways. One way is to draw the classroom design on a piece of graph paper. Decide on the scale. Now, you can generally use 1 inch on the graph paper to equal 1 foot. Draw the outline of the classroom. Draw in the windows, whiteboards, anything that is a stationary boundary. Once you have the outline of the room, now it's time to start looking at the movable boundaries. And where will they be located? This can be accomplished by cutting pieces of paper to represent the different items in the classroom, such as a teacher's desk, students' desks, tables, bookcases. All of these things you're going to be using the same scale as you do for the layout of the classroom. What needs to be in a classroom? Some of the items that's needed to be included in the classroom are tables or desks for students, a table for working with the teacher, CD player, DVD player, cubbies for student books, a timer, and an art easel. But all of these things are dependent upon what is the level of the students, what is the grade, what is the subject. Materials for the ESE Classroom. The items that are included in a general education class should also be included in an ESE classroom, with the addition of adaptive eating utensils, a changing table, and positioning materials. Many of these items are supplied by the occupational therapy or the physical therapy department and depends on the needs of the individual students. Supplies for the ESE Classroom. Supplies that should be included are raised line paper, pencil grips, various manipulatives for both reading and math, individual whiteboards, or individual chalkboards. Organization in the classroom. Posting expectations, rules, and schedules need to be at the eye level of the students. They should be posted in areas where all students can see them, and the expectations, rules, and consequences should be always written in positive terms. Also, depending on the level of the students and their reading ability, schedules should be written in Word and in picture format. Make print available. Students should be exposed to vocabulary and literacy, and the vocabulary words need to be placed in an area that students are able to see on a daily basis. Word walls are very important in a classroom since it allows students to increase their fluency by reading the words. No matter what age level or subject, students need to have the word wall words of all of the words that they're working with. For early childhood, the symbols need to be displayed so that they can see both the picture and the word. Learning materials. Having learning materials organized helps both the teacher and the student. Having a place for everything and keeping everything in its place increases the efficiency for the teacher. It helps with younger students and ESE students to have everything labeled. For the younger student and the ESE student, having everything labeled allows them to have independence, because then they are able to see what they want and be able to take it and return it. Many teachers have made containers for materials that are kept on students' desks that holds materials such as pencils and markers. Some students have found ways to use household items such as a dishpan, a dish rack for organizing materials. Centers. Centers in the elementary, middle school, and ESE classroom are very important as students are able to work independently on various skills such as listening, writing, fluency, spelling, patterning, math, reading, and in the content areas of science and social studies. Centers are placed in areas of the classroom so that students are spread around, so that you may have a center that is a quiet center and it will not be next to a center that has more activity that would cause distraction. Different teachers have used different ways to organize how the students rotate. One such example is that students are assigned within their group a number, and then the students rotate to the center that has their number. Also can be done through a letter or through a color or a shape. These are all different ways that some teachers have used to help organize, and it helps the students to know where they're to go. Thanks to the teachers at Forest Grove Middle School, Francis K. Sweet Elementary, and Garden City Early Learning Academy for the photographs.